Good morning. I am Tanae McLean, your Chief Communications Officer, and I am here this morning with Dr. Royal, our Interim Superintendent, and we are going to talk with you a little bit about some results we just got in this past last month, and that is our Teacher Working Conditions Survey. How are you this morning, Dr. Royal?
I'm doing well. Hope you are.
I am. So why don't you tell the people that are watching exactly what is the Teacher Working Conditions Survey?
Sure. So the Teacher Working Conditions Survey is what North Carolina uses to evaluate and survey our teachers all across the state in our public schools. The survey is conducted every 2 years. So this past year was 2022. So the previous survey was given in 2020. And it's been given in North Carolina since around 2000. And we were one of the first states in the nation to give a survey to all of their teachers to figure out the climate and use that survey to help guide improvement for each of the schools.
Is the survey only for teachers or is it all staff?
The survey is open to part-time and full-time licensed staff that are based solely at a school. And so that will include all teachers, administrators, counselors, school library media coordinators, and any other licensed personnel.
Very good. So what exactly, well, first let me say this, we have a district average, but it's by school. So each school has their own score, so to speak.
Correct. And so as long as the school has over 40% of their staff members who are eligible participate in the survey, then they receive the data. And the goal ultimately is to have 100% participation from all eligible stakeholders to take the survey. And for us in Mooresville, this past year, overall in the district, we had over a 93% participation rate. And that does include all of our brick and mortar schools, but also this past year, if you remember, we had our Mooresville Online Academy, and those teachers also had the opportunity to give their feedback in the Teacher Working Conditions Survey.
So last month, when we started kind of looking at this data, we have some really strong points that, some good data that Mooresville Graded is doing some good things for our teachers. There was also some areas for improvement. So we'll save the best for last. What are some areas that we need to improve in?
Sure, absolutely. And I think when we send out surveys, and I know in Mooresville and in a lot of other districts, we probably have sent out a lot of surveys over the past year and a half, because we really want that feedback from our stakeholders to see what we're doing well and some areas where we need to improve upon. And so when we have this data that comes out every 2 years, that I do want to remind our viewers as well that the survey is given to all of our teachers, and they actually complete that survey anonymously. So as a district, we don't know, what Mr. Smith or what Ms. Davis has said. We want that to remain anonymous so that we get real good feedback from the staff. And so like you said, when we're looking at data, we have areas of high points and some areas where we need to improve. For us, the survey showed that our teachers really need more time. When I say time, specifically non-instructional time, so that they can plan accordingly to give the best instruction for their students. So that is the major point as far as what our teachers shared. They also would like to see a reduction in paperwork at times. And so those are some of the things that we were low in. But I think the number one thing that we need to always look at is just because the data wasn't low doesn't mean it's an area where we can improve. And so what I mean by that is when we look at the school safety category, to me personally, we should be scoring at 100%, that our teachers know what to do during a safety drill, during an emergency situation, during any type of event on campus where obviously we're going to keep our students and staff safe. And our numbers were above 95%. So when you look at the percentage, we scored very high in safety. But for me, if we're not at 100%, then we still need to address and be sure that our teachers and staff know exactly what to do in an emergency situation. So those would be the lower points. I think the other one that we obviously are cognizant of is just the safety and well-being of our students. And our teachers indicated that they believe that not only bullying is still a problem at their school, but also cyberbullying. And we've seen that increase over the years. And so, again, there's some things that we do at the school level and at the district level that we need to revamp that maybe, or just increase what we're doing about making folks aware of bullying and things that we can do to prevent it. But also when we are aware of it is to be able to report it so that we can get assistance where needed. So that would be the highlights there as far as some areas that we know we need to improve upon rather quickly, I think.
And we had a lot of good positive data that showed that we were high or relatively compared to other districts or averages across the state. What were some of the things that we're doing right?
Sure. And so, like I mentioned, there's 12 categories that they assess on the survey. And Mooresville graded all of our schools. Out of those 12 categories, we were above the state average in 9 of those 12 categories. So like you said, there's a lot to be proud of, a lot to continue to build upon. And even the areas that we were just slightly below the state average, it was very minute when it comes to looking at the data. So very proud about the 9 areas. The area that I'm most proud about is the new teacher support. If you look at the state average for new teacher support, the state average was 76%. We're in agreement that they felt good about the support they received from their district and their school when they're a new teacher. 76% agreed that they feel good about that support. In Mooresville graded, we were over 92%.
Wow.
We have a very strong new employee induction program with our human resources department, and I know that at each individual school we replicate that and then also make it unique to that school. So we're very proud of the support that we provide our new teachers. They feel like they are supported, that they're receiving strong mentors, the resources that they need to really help guide instruction. They feel really, really good about, and that's something that we take pride in because we want to be able to grow our teachers so that they can become not just new teachers, but then veterans. And another part of the surveys, they really appreciate the leadership opportunities that our teachers are given at the school. So we really want to grow our teachers, and we're doing a great job of that. So that's one of the highlights, I think, as far as our overall data. Other areas, like I said, providing that professional learning opportunities, not only for our teachers, but also just looking at our PLCs, our professional learning communities. Our teachers are working closely together, and they have the opportunity to do so. Another highlight was our facilities and resources. Our teachers say that they have adequate workspace. They have resources from a technology standpoint, from a paper standpoint, from any other resource that they need. They feel like they have adequate resources to meet the needs of every child every day. And that's something that we strive to do each and every day in the Mooresville Graded School District.
So now as a district, we just have to continue to maintain those strong areas and then work on the areas that we find we need to improve.
Absolutely. And that's when we send out surveys, that's the ultimate goal, whether it's from the state or if we're sending it out as an individual school or a district, is we want to take that data, analyze the data that we receive, and then go ahead and build upon that and put plans in place to meet the needs of our staff in this case, meet the needs of our students when we have student survey, or families when we survey the families. So we know that we're not perfect. We strive for excellence every day. And when we have that area from a survey that we know that we need to work on, then we're going to put plans in place to work on it. But like you mentioned, we don't want to forget about the areas where we're excelling, and so we want to continue to look at those and see if we can tweak those to improve, or at least continue what we're doing so that we know that we're being successful in every area.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to speak to the community this morning. Do you have any last words you'd like to share?
No, I appreciate the invite. Look forward to school starting back soon. I know our staff is getting excited about August 10th, the first day of school for our students. And more information will be coming out from our schools about our open house events and beginning of the year events. So we hope that everyone has enjoyed their summer, and we're looking forward to a great 2022-2023 school year.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.